When I came to the organisation, there was lots of information on file about seizures and rumours about illegal trade in CFCs, and the world didn't really know about this. And when I was told by colleagues that there was an illegal trade in this chemical that was worth millions of dollars, stuck in the ozone hole, I became quite curious. And the trip in 2005 was a culmination of more or less 8 years' work, particularly looking at the role of Chinese companies in supplying illegal CFCs to the global market. And we got together a list of companies of interest to us. Once again, this was through looking at offers on the internet and through getting hold of shipping documents which showed previous supply. So we had this list of target companies and we flew into Shanghai. Not every meeting will yield something of interest. In fact, we normally choose a low value meeting to warm up. So we'll often just go in and talk to a company we don't think is doing illegal trade just to get our cover story straight. So we went into these meetings with a clear cover story, looking for supplies of chemicals to various countries, including CFCs. More or less, well, everyone was doing something dodgy, to be frank. There were different ways of doing it. One company said how we had a good relationship with the local government, and they would tell him when an inspection was going to happen, etc., etc. Yeah, if during an undercover meeting someone says something really interesting or particularly damning, obviously we try and maintain our composure and our cover, because they think you're as dodgy as they are and they want to boast about how clever they are, and you throw in a few boasts of your own and it becomes a bit of one-upmanship. Who's the smartest smuggler? But one company we really wanted to meet, it took a little while to set up, was this company Ningbo Sino Resource. But my two colleagues were able to arrange a meeting with his vice manager called Lee and do that interaction. Again, pretty quickly on, Lee was able to say, yeah, we're doing shipping of CFCs in all these countries, and the way we do it is we mislabel it. We put it in a container and we label it something else, and we put a layer of the legitimate goods at the front of the container. We've been doing this for ages and no problems. We had a system of reviewing the footage every night, even though it had been long days. We wanted to make sure that first it recorded properly, and secondly that we'd got all the relevant information, because if we hadn't, then we could try and contrive a way of going back. So we got back to London, we packaged up our findings, and we did a report called Under the Counter. A few months later, we were invited to a customs workshop in China, the first one that they'd ever had on illegal trade in ODS, and we were able to present information on smuggling methods to help them detect the illegal trade. And the following year, China Customs spearheaded the first ever regional customs operation against environmental crime, and it was focused mostly on illegal trade in ozone-breathing chemicals. So the first time China led this much more effective clampdown on illegal trade in ODS. And from that time onwards, we saw the problem became less and less, because the enforcement had improved, there was more knowledge about the trade, the smuggling methods had been exposed.